Wonderful. خلاص, let's begin. All right, assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to today's Olympian Mindset session. We're so excited to have you here. My name is Jawahar Barhema. I am part of the team leading the Create Apps initiative at the Dubai Chamber of Digital Economy. Before we dive into today's growth mindset workshop, and for those who aren't already aware, let me give you some background about the Create Apps in Dubai initiative, which was launched under Dubai's creative economy strategy led by His Highness Sheikh Hamdan. And the main aim of this initiative is to position Dubai as a global digital innovation hub by 2025. And the App Olympics is under that initiative. So if you want to know what the App Olympics is, it's basically a global competition which aims to help anyone bring their mobile app idea to life. Last year, His Highness Sheikh Fazza watched a winner's elevator pitch at the finals. They had basically like a minute or a half to pitch their idea, and then they chose a winner and crowned the overall Dubai App of the Year award. And to give you some background, the first edition of this competition had over 1,100 applications from 64 countries. Last February was the ceremony event. Basically, the 12 finalists pitched their apps on stage at the Museum of the Future. And each of the 4 winners walked away with $150,000 in grant to further develop their apps on Builder AI and bringing their ideas to life. This competition ultimately is not just about winning the prize, as there are endless benefits that you can get from joining. And you will have, inshallah, access to our exclusive learning platform and benefit from an extensive community of support, mentors, including weekly masterclasses, fireside chats, webinars, and interactive Q&As. But all you need to register for this competition is just an app idea, and we will offer you all the tools and support that you guys need. Now, I just want to pause for a second, if I can get some reactions from you guys to know that I still have your attention. Any thumbs up or smiley faces, I'd appreciate. All right. الحين I'll walk you through the timeline of the competition. So from now until September 26th, we are at a pre-launch phase. We will be offering 4 workshops to prepare your mindset for the competition, starting with the growth mindset training, which is happening today. So these 4 training sessions will help you get in the right mindset and will help you get the right learnings to be ready for this competition. Inshallah, October 13th marks the official launch of the competition, where you can begin submitting your applications. If you have not yet, please register your interest via the link in the chat. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the App Olympics team, email them, or you can engage in the App Olympics platform. My colleagues will drop the link and email in the chat, and I definitely urge you to sign up. We're extremely excited about this competition, extremely excited about this initiative. Anything related to the Create Apps initiative thus far has created immense impact. So I thank you for joining us in today's webinar, and inshallah, you'll be able to untap this amazing opportunity. Now let's hear from one of our inspiring alumni, Salama. She was a finalist in the Youth App category last year. Salama, over to you. We'd love to hear more about your journey last year. But thank you all for joining us today.
Hi everyone, I'm Salama and I'm super excited to be here today to share my journey with you all. It's an honor to dive into my experiences and the exciting project I've been working on since the App Olympics. I hope my story inspires you and offers a peek into what it's like to be an App Olympian. Before I entered the App Olympics, I had this constant idea for a food app. Just out of curiosity, are there any fellow foodies here with us today? Yes, you'll totally get it then. You know those trendy food spots you see online? The ones with amazing photos that make you want to go right away. But when you get there, the food's disappointing. It doesn't look half as good or it tastes nothing like you expected. That frustration sparked the creation of Rayak, during the 2024 App Olympics. So Raik is all about connecting food lovers with restaurants that cater exactly to their tastes. We use a personalized recommendation system, including a taste match percentage, to ensure you always dine at the perfect menu. It's also a social media app where users can share reviews, post photos, and connect with other food enthusiasts. The support and feedback I received during the App Olympics from both peers, mentors, and also judges were invaluable. They not only validated my idea, but also fueled my drive to bring Raik to life. After the finals, instead of backing down, I took a moment to strategize my next steps. This competition proved to be more than just a contest, it was a catalyst for growth and learning. Every challenge redirected me towards improvement and innovation. Now, I'm thrilled to announce that Raik is officially in development, with a launch targeted before the year's end. To stay updated on our progress, follow us on Instagram and sign up on our website to gain early access. You can also scan the QR code to visit our website. In closing, I encourage you all to embrace a growth mindset, just as I did. It can propel your projects to new heights. And if you're considering entering the App Olympics, go for it and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you for your attention and best of luck in your own ventures.
Okay, welcome everyone. A huge welcome. I'm seeing a little bit of work in the chat, which is fabulous. Okay, so without further ado, my name is Niamh. I am an executive coach and leadership consultant. Very happy to be here with you today and talk about growth mindset. So just before we start into our content, if you'd like in the chat, share maybe your first name, one word that describes your personality, and 2 words that describes what you do. Take your time. Hi, Yakin. Fabulous. So just your name, one word that represents or your personality, and 2 words that describes what you do. Okay, thank you very much indeed, Jacques, adventurous, love that. And you were an entrepreneur, amazing. Okay, thank you for that. Myself, I would say I am abundant. I like to share things. I have that abundant mindset, leadership development, and I am creative. So describes what I do. Hadi, you are a strategist, fabulous, and you build apps. So you're in the right room today. Okay, fabulous. Thank you. Okay, so moving on, we are going to look now at our learning objectives today. So we're looking at growth mindset. So understanding the role of a growth mindset, particularly in tech innovation, fostering a growth mindset with you, not only with yourself, but also the people around you. So your teams, stakeholders, to enhance collaboration and make your mobile app idea successful. We're going to be looking at this idea of failure. And in actual fact, failure is good. It's a good thing because we learn when we fail, actually. When we're in the comfort zone, everything is going well. We are not growing, developing, or learning. So we want to stretch ourselves. Yeah. Problem solving is a key attribute or skill of effective people, where they're able to actually solve problems, and applying a growth mindset will help you do that, overcoming obstacles. Okay, and finally, we're going to do a little bit of reflection today as well, setting reflective goals, using again a growth mindset to set and achieve reflective goals. So in the chat, I'd like you to identify which one of the learning objectives are you most curious about. Just give me a number. The good news, I will be covering all 4, so you're not going to miss out. But I'm just curious, as your facilitator today, which one interests you the most? Okay, fabulous. So I'm seeing number 4, reflection. Well done, Yakin. Amazing. Reza, just going back to you, you're a strategist in business and analysis, both fundamental and technical. Okay, excellent. Well done. Thank you for that. Mohammed, you're interested in number 1. Great, fabulous. Okay, Jacques, you're interested in number 3. Okay, so well done, guys. It's just nice to know in terms of the audience and maybe where I can spend a little bit more time today. Okay. So again, these are our learning objectives and we'll be looking at these in a little bit more detail. So starting with a growth mindset, does anyone know the name of the lady who is, I suppose, the instigator or the founder of this concept? And she gave an amazing TED talk. She actually has lots. Anyone know her name? She's written many books as well around mindset. You would see her on social media quite a bit. She's very active on LinkedIn, Instagram, and she has her own resource channel as well. Anyone? No? That's okay. That's why you're here. So let's take a look. So her name is Carol Dweck, okay, and she is a renowned psychologist and professor. She works at Stanford University in the United States, and she developed this concept of growth mindset as part of her research actually on motivation and achievement. So she's very interested and passionate about human behavior, what motivates people, and ultimately, how do we achieve? How do we achieve? So in her research, she came across and developed this concept of growth mindset. Now, her work particularly highlighted in her book, and I have on the screen the title of the book. Feel free to take a screenshot of that. It might be something that you might like to invest in, whether it's an audiobook or a hard book. She explores in the book how people's beliefs about their abilities and intelligence actually influences their success and personal development. Okay, so my belief about myself, my mindset about my intelligence actually influences my success. So if I am thinking, oh, I am intelligent, there's a likelihood then I will succeed. Whereas if I think I'm not good enough and other people are better than me, there's maybe less likelihood of success and achievement. So very interesting. Okay. Now in the chat, you will see a YouTube link. So somebody is going to pop it in now in a moment. It's a link to a video and it's called Developing a Growth Mindset with Carol. Okay. So in the chat, what do you think is the opposite to a growth mindset? What do you believe is the opposite to a growth mindset? That's a fabulous word, Jacques. Yeah, stagnation. Yeah, and not movement. Yeah, well done. So that definitely is an outcome. Yeah, the opposite is, we call it, I'll just pop it in, a fixed mindset. So today you're going to walk away with maybe 2 very clear concepts, and they're like polar opposites: growth mindset, fixed mindset. So there are 2 mindsets. And again, going back to Carol, her book, the YouTube link there you'll see in the chat, feel free to explore a little bit more. Okay. So take a moment now and have a look at the slide. And there we have a fabulous infographic outlining growth mindset and fixed mindset. So I'm going to give maybe about 30 seconds for you to relax and just read that for a moment. Okay. So growth mindset, just maybe for me to verbally explain. So individuals with a growth mindset believe their abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. So they see challenges and failures as actually a good thing. They see them as opportunities to grow, not as indicators of their limitations. So they reframe, they think positively, even when things are rough, when things are not going their way. Now, on the other hand, fixed mindset, those with that type of mindset believe their abilities and intelligence, and I'm going to go back to you, Jacques, that lovely word, are stagnant and unchangeable. They tend to avoid challenges. I'm not going to go for that job interview. I'm not going to go for the master's. So they do maybe a degree and then they decide, or I'm not going to ask for a rotation within my organization. So they don't even ask, they avoid. And they view effort as fruitless if they don't achieve immediate success. So they don't put in the hard work, that work ethic of trying, making a go of it, because they're not getting the results as quickly as they believe they should. And I'm using that word should. Yeah. So in terms of where you are, and I want you to think about where you currently are operating from. What kind of mindset do you have? Now, this is a quiet reflection you do not need to share. It's just maybe looking back, reflecting on over the summer months. Maybe you traveled, maybe you didn't, maybe you just completed some studies, maybe you have set up your own business. I don't know, there's maybe lots going on. Maybe you have been quite have taken a break and you've coming back into the work and getting excited now about the Olympics. Where do you see yourself just now? And remember, there is no judgment in this space today. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, thank you, people so open. Thank you so much. Okay, fabulous. So Mohammed, very much a growth. So Mohammed, I might come back to you if you don't mind. And give me an example in the last week where you demonstrated growth mindset. Feel free to come off mute, Mohammed, if you feel comfortable. We'd love to hear from you. But, in the last week or two, give me an example of a behavior or an action that represents that growth mindset. Okay, yesterday I had an interview and they asked me basic questions about physics I couldn't answer. Okay. So well done on the interview. Amazing. Okay, and how did you respond? So you obviously didn't know the answer, but what was your response? Okay, just moving to Reza now, just to give an opportunity to review, keep learning, fabulous. Continuing the trial and error to test methodology and process. The goal remains fixed. Okay, so always, what can I do to get closer to the goal today? So that trial and error language, amazing. Okay, well done. Yeah, so that's a really nice reflection, Mohammed, you know, an opportunity to review and maybe, you know, there's information now, maybe that's a gap in my knowledge. So that you're able to review and maybe do something about that. Okay, well done, amazing. So I start over 8 and start with a new demo for new ideas. Okay, Gada, amazing, well done, fabulous. And keep learning. Yeah, keep that continuous learning. Yeah, every day is a school day. Okay, fabulous. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so I invite you now to open up, please, your take out your phone. Okay. And I'm going to show a QR code. Okay. And this is a little quiz. It's just a fun, engaging activity. So open up your camera, scan in the QR code. Give me a thumbs up or a smiley face if you have managed to do that, guys. Okay, Yakin, well done, amazing. So just enter your name. Okay. I'm going to participate as well, but I'm not. Don't worry. There is a win. Oh, we've lots of people in there. Amazing. Okay. So, sorry, go back here. So waiting for players to join and keep a look on your screen. Okay, so just join the game. And the questions will start soon. Okay, so I can see Haifa, Mariam, Reem, Jacques, Mohammed, Rania, Neve is there. Don't worry, I'm not going to answer. I just wanted to make sure it's all working. Well done, guys. If there are any questions in terms of today, feel free. You can actually leave feedback. Okay, so let's go to our questions. Okay. So, question 1. Look at your device. I can't do this. What type of mindset is that? Fixed or growth? Okay, don't forget to click submit. Okay, well done. And the correct answer, of course, it's a very fixed mindset. Okay, 7 people got it right. Do we have a leaderboard? Let's see. Okay. Oh, Reem, well done you. Amazing. Okay, Mohammed is very, just a wee bit behind you. 2. Okay. Moving to question 3, or 2, sorry, question 2. I can improve my coding skills with practice and persistence. What type of a mindset is that? Fixed mindset or growth? Don't forget to click submit. And of course, it definitely is a growth mindset. Even the language, I can. Okay, well done, guys. Okay, Reem is, oh, Yakin has burst open. Okay, well done, Yakin. Very quick. You're getting the hang of it. Okay, question 3, guys. This challenge is an opportunity to grow and learn something new. What do you think it is? Okay, which mindset? And of course, it is very much a growth mindset. Okay, well done. And let's see where Yakin is now. Oh, Haifa. Fantastic. Oh, we couple the same. Okay, well done. Keep going. Question 4. I always mess up when I try something new. Okay, and let's see. Yes, absolutely. A fixed mindset. So very hard on yourself. Yeah, so the inner critic voice very loud. I always mess up. Okay, where are we now? Loading the results. Okay, Yakin, you're doing really well. Amazing. Near the end now. Question 5, guys. Everyone starts somewhere. I can develop my skills with effort and time. What type of mindset do you think? And of course, it is indeed growth mindset. Yes, everyone starts. I can develop my skills. So very proactive language there. Okay. Leaderboard. Yakin doing really well. We'll have to work out what your prize is, Yakin. We'll send you a virtual prize. If I fail, it means I'm not good enough. Okay. And of course, very much a fixed mindset. Yeah, well done, guys. You're really getting the understanding the concept, comparing and contrasting fixed and growth. Okay. Oh, Mohammed moved up there. And our last question for today. Failure is feedback that helps me adjust my approach and improve. Okay, and let's see the answer, of course, growth mindset. And our overall winner, okay, is Mohammed with 648. Let's give him a virtual round of applause. Well done. Okay, amazing. Okay, let's move to Yakin now. Yakin, you have your hand up. Did you want to come off mute? Feel free to ask a question. Or maybe not. I don't know. Sometimes we put our hands up and you okay? Just let me know in chat if you're okay. Okay. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, so let's move on. So as we dive into the world of app creation, remember that growth comes from perseverance, learning, and a willingness to stretch beyond our comfort zone. Okay, so we talk about comfort zone, learning zone, and sometimes we're even in the panic zone. So today we're going to explore how adopting a growth mindset can transform your journey, fueling your creativity, resilience and success in building an app that truly makes a difference, as we heard from last year's winner. Yeah, pretty amazing. And the passion coming through. A growth mindset, embracing the belief that our abilities can be developed through dedication and effort, will be the key to overcoming obstacles and unlocking your full potential. So with this mindset, and it starts with mindset, setbacks actually become learning opportunity. Effort becomes the pathway to mastery. I love that word, mastery. You become a subject matter expert. You know, you master your craft. You hone in on your skills. You are the person people go to for X, okay? And challenges become opportunities to innovate. So what I'd like you to do for me now is I'd like you to reframe, which is a fabulous technique, the following fixed mindset statements, and I want you to change it into a growth mindset. So for example, someone might say, oh, other people are so much better than me. So in the chat, I'd like you to reframe that statement from a growth mindset perspective. I'm going to allocate maybe 30 seconds because I know it takes a wee bit of time to type. So just relax and think about How could you reframe that in a more positive, you know, developmental mindset? Okay, I've just popped it into the chat for your ease of reference. I'd like you to reframe that. So the statement is on the screen, and it's also in the chat, Gada. Thank you for that. Reza, yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing your name okay. How can I improve my skill set so that I can participate in that circle of people? Love that. What a great question. Jacques, other people have more experience than me, so I would like to talk and engage with them to learn from them. Amazing. Yeah, very different. Other people, what else do I see? Other people are not so much better than me. Okay, Kada, well done. Fabulous. Let's have a look at our slide. Okay, so I do have, take a look there. So this is an example of a growth mindset response. I can learn from others and use their success as inspiration for my growth. So in the chat, who inspires you? Who inspires you just now? Where do you get your inspiration? Let me know in the chat. I love that, Mohammed. My future me. Amazing. Yeah, that's very powerful. So that, you know, that idea of manifestation and visualizing where I will be, you know, in 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, even a year. Okay. So that demonstrates, you know, a high level of confidence, self-confidence. Well done, Mohammed. Who better? There's no one better than yourself to inspire you. Amazing. Okay, well done. Anyone else? Who inspires you, even within the context of your industry, the work you do? Anyone else that inspires you when you think even of famous people? So some nice examples there in the picture of Uber, you know, in merger talks with Dubai-based Kareem. I'm from Egypt, so pyramids I like to look at every time to keep and tell myself we did this, no one else. Yeah, I mean I've been there, and it's just pretty profound when you stand and look up at the pyramids. Amazing, yeah. Okay, and what man can do, what women can do, yeah. And back years, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, when they didn't have all the technology and machines, look what they created. Yeah, absolutely. Rumi isn't on a deep level. Wisdom can be used to understand the bigger picture. Love that. Okay, well done. Okay, so there we go. So you remember when this happened, the Uber and Kareem, and I can learn from others. Okay, well done. Okay, let's move to number 2. Okay. I don't want to look stupid by asking questions. Who'd like to reframe that for me in the chat? How might you reframe that from a growth mindset perspective? I need to ask to learn some things new. Well done. I'm missing on a potential big opportunity if I don't find out more information, ask the questions. Yeah. And sometimes, you know, we can be in meetings and we think, oh, I don't know, I don't want to, it seems a silly question. I don't even know if I like that word, but we often use it. That seems like a silly question. But I guarantee you, if you have thought of the question, other people have too. Okay. Mohammed, everyone started somewhere. Fabulous. Let's look at the slide, guys. Asking questions helps me learn and grow. It's a smart thing to do. Okay. Who is familiar with the 5 W's? Anyone familiar with the 5 W's? No? Okay. They're quite helpful when you are engaging in conversation or discussion with people yes, well done, Mohammed. The what, why, where, when, and the last one is how. Why, what, where, when, and how. Yeah, well done. You're fabulous. Well done, guys. Amazing. So that's quite a nice little tool, you know, to go in when you go into meetings. And usually we start with the why. Yeah. Why is this important to you? Yeah. Why? And then we go to what, how, where is more logistics, maybe, you know, when, obviously the timings, and then most importantly, the how. Okay. And that, of course, is Elon Musk. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better. I have a great one. I am a post-it note on my wall in my office, and it's a question: is there a simpler way of doing this? Sometimes sometimes we can overcomplicate things. Yeah. Okay. So is there a simpler way of doing this? Can be a great question. And it brings you back to the central line, why I'm doing it. Yeah. What's important. Okay. Number 3. I failed, so I'm not cut out for this. Who'd like to reframe that for me? I failed, so I'm not cut out for this. This isn't working for me. This is not for me. Let's reframe that. Okay. Learn from our own failures, do it again. Okay, fabulous. So what did I learn from today? Okay, and we know Steve Jobs very much. Failure is part of the process. I can learn from it and keep moving forward. So this idea of resilience, yeah, bouncing back up. So he was resilient after being fired from Apple. Okay. Let's move to number 4. If I don't try, I won't fail. Anyone like? Okay. Okay. Failure, okay, is the best teacher. Fabulous. Okay. And maybe a reframe of that. If I don't try, I won't grow. Effort. And I think that says effort is the key to success. Okay. And if I don't try, I won't know how to win. Okay. Fabulous. And sometimes it's the journey, isn't it? Rather than the outcome as well. Okay. A reflective question for you guys. How could a growth mindset have changed the outcome of a recent challenge you faced? I'd like you to choose one scenario from the list. You might have been involved in a project. It could be something personal, maybe a relationship at work, maybe a personal relationship. Maybe you were engaged in some study. Maybe it was a work situation, or maybe it's something to do with a team member. It was a team challenge. So I'm going to invite somebody. So Project Gada, would you like to come off mute, Gada? And maybe share with us, how could a growth mindset have changed the outcome? So basically, What would you have done? What would you do differently if you were presented with this project challenge again? What would you do differently? Don't be shy, okay? Don't be shy. I'm here because it's learning for all of us, and it's just sometimes nice to share. I don't want to put you on the spot. If anyone would like to share, please do. Feel free to come off mute. Oh, you're trying to open, Gada. Thank you. So maybe my colleague can unmute. Thank you. Okay, we've unmuted you, Gada. We can't hear you yet. I'm a creator and metaverse, so okay. Metaverse, okay. I'm VR and metaverse. Okay. Just tell us a little bit more in the chat and we can come back and read it. Thank you, Gada. Okay. So maybe a reflection for you. What might you do differently next time if faced with the same challenge? Okay. So the actions, behaviors, and language associated with a growth mindset play a significant role in reinforcing the belief that abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. Okay, so they're the key 3 words today I want you to walk away with. How much effort am I making? How much time or energy am I investing in my learning? And how persistent am I? You know, do I give up at the first time or do I persist? I go again. Okay. Reem, thank you so much. And Reem, thank you for taking the time to type that in. Amazing. Work challenge in communication. I should have sensed that my colleague didn't comprehend my ask from the start. Next time I'll ask, is the ask clear or would you like further clarification? Wow, Reem, that's amazing. That's a great reflection. Okay. So checking in with your colleague that they did understand what you meant, so that you have a common understanding. Amazing. Okay, well done, Reem. Fabulous. Okay, so we're going to now spend a little bit of time looking at actions, behaviors, and language. Which one are you most curious about? Growth mindset actions, behaviors, or language? I'm going to use letters just in the interest of time. So is it actions, behaviors, or language you are most curious? You're interested in the behaviors, Gada. Brilliant. Jacques, the actions. You can take Reem actions. Okay, amazing. Okay, so the good news is I will be covering all. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so the magic number today is 5. Okay, so we're going to be looking at 5. Yeah, I find actions are the foundation of goals, so it's really important. Yes, Reza. Yeah, well done. So growth mindset actions are practical steps. So I'm a big believer in, you know, it's great to have theory, but particularly for people who are creative and entrepreneurs, action, you know, there is no learning without action. We need to action. We need to do something. Okay. So I have identified these 5 that cultivate and reinforce the belief that abilities can be developed, okay, through effort, learning, and perseverance. So the first one there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see the 5, and I'm going to go into detail now in a little bit of time. So you need a pen and paper for this. Give me a hands up or give me a reaction that you have a pen and paper handy. A pen and paper. Yeah, well done. Okay, thank you. So We're going to focus, as I said, on 5 growth mindset actions. So here they are. And I'd like you, as we go through each of them, to give me, or to give yourself, it's not about me, it's your learning, give yourself an example of what you're doing in terms of this particular action. Okay? Now, I'll give you some prompts, because sometimes you forget and you kind of go, oh yeah, that's a good one, Neve. Thank you. I'll write that down. Okay. So just relax. And I'd like you, we're looking at actions now. So the first action is continuous learning. So this is you spending time, perhaps money, most definitely energy, in activities that increase your knowledge and skills. Okay. So for example, reading a book, maybe taking a course, attending a workshop. Well, today is a great example. So I think we're all on a level playing field. You can write down this course, this webinar today. Maybe some of you have a mentor. Maybe some of you have your own coach. So these are examples of what you're doing around continuous learning. Now, you might be sitting in the room and going, you know what, I haven't really done a lot. So it hopefully will maybe inspire you to think about, what can I do? But the purpose of this activity is to kind of do a diagnostic. Where am I just now? What am I doing currently around continuous learning? Okay. So just write it down for me. And in a moment, you're going to capture these in a few minutes on a screen, on a Padlet. Okay. So just write it down for now with your pen and paper. Number 2, seeking feedback. When was the last time you asked for feedback from a colleague, a family member, a mentor, a supervisor, and you actually did something with that feedback? Okay, so when did you last ask for feedback? And maybe what and how did you do that? And within what setting was it? Was it formal feedback? Was it informal feedback? Okay. Number 3, experimentation. Try and use strategies, ideas, or approaches, even if the outcome is uncertain. So what did you do or use recently for the first time? So for me, I'm going to share, I'm delivering a course just now. Last night was my first night to a client in the USA, and I'm using Adobe Connect. I don't know, is anyone familiar with Adobe Connect? Usually I use Teams or WebEx or Zoom. But last night was my first night to use Adobe Connect. Oh, Chime, there's a new one. Thank you, Mohammed. See, I'm learning something from you. Amazing. I'm going to look that up. And I was a wee bit apprehensive, but I'm lucky enough to have a producer with me like I am today. And I did a walkthrough yesterday during the day, just to set me up for success. But that was something I've used in the last 24 hours for the first time. Okay. Okay. Blockchain fundamental course. Well done, Gada. Blockchain. Yeah. Yes. Excellent. Okay. Well done. Great example. Okay. Reflection. When was the last time you sat down with a cup of coffee or a glass of water and you journal? You wrote down and you asked yourself some reflective questions. What went well today? What could I have done different? What do I need to do more of? What do I need to do less of? What worked? When was the last time you asked yourself, and dare I say, after today's session, look up examples of reflective questions on Google, and you'll find lots. Choose 2 or 3 and maybe start journaling for the next week or 2. Even 3 questions. What was good about today? Yeah. And finally, collaboration. So this is you engaging in collaborative efforts. This idea of, communities of practice, maybe sharing knowledge, learning from others instead of competing or being isolated from them. So when was the last time you were in a group setting learning? When was the last time you had a great professional discussion with a group of people where you shared or you received new information? Yeah, amazing, Gada. Yeah, this is a fabulous community. Just an hour ago, Mohammed, well done. Amazing. Okay. So what I'd like you to do for me now is I'd like you to scan in the QR code. And I'm going to allocate maybe 3 minutes where I'd like you. So when you go in, I'd like you to click the bottom of the screen of your phone and you'll see a plus. And when you'll see the color white and you'll see actions. Click on actions. Make sure when you're, because we'll be revisiting, make sure it stays on actions. So what actions have you taken in terms of the behaviors or the actions that we mentioned in the last 3 or 4 minutes? Okay. Give me a hand up if everybody is in the Padlet. And then I'd like you to start sharing a couple of examples of actions you have taken in the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I can see from the chat, we have people who have attended blockchain fundamental course, someone who has parts of a community, even a particular book that you've read. And don't forget to publish, guys. Okay. Oh, fabulous. I'm seeing lots there. Reading, always learning, continuous learning, taking a course in web design. Well done. There's a book recommendation, Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. Okay, fabulous. Okay, well done, guys. Amazing. Okay, let's move into behaviors because I know that you're curious about these. Again, we have 5 behaviors we're going to look at today. So growth mindset behaviors are actions and attitudes that reflect the belief that abilities and intelligence, again, can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. Okay, so they foster continuous improvement, resilience, and this idea of being open and embracing challenges. Take a look. Okay, so these behaviors reflect a commitment to continuous improvement. Okay, so by embodying these behaviors, you set yourself up for long-term success and innovation in your tech development journey. Okay, so let's look at them in detail. So embracing challenges. Let's take a look at the behavior. Tackling complex problems and learning new and unfamiliar technologies to develop a mobile app prototype. So that's exactly what you're going to be facing now in the App Olympics. So seeing these challenges as opportunities to grow rather than obstacles to avoid. So how are you going to respond when you are maybe faced with something you don't understand. But you need to understand it in order to progress and achieve something. So what are you going to do? Fabulous. You're going to Google it. I love it, Gada. Yeah? What are you going to do? Somebody else. ChatGPT. Absolutely amazing. And there is so much information that we can access very, very easily. Take a look here. So maybe one example of how we're suggesting, that maybe when you're faced with a difficult feature to implement, like what you said, Gada, you dive into maybe tutorials, documentation, you're eager to learn and you expand your skills. Okay, so you reach out for help, whether it's on the internet, Google, ChatGPT, or maybe somebody who knows it. Reza, apply the what if scenarios. Love it. Okay, amazing. And record and analyze the results. Fabulous. Okay, what about this one? So when we talk about, app creation, there's many, many different iterations. Okay, so this is the iterative development and continuous improvement. So adopting an iterative approach for each app version. So you mightn't submit your app until version 11. So version 1, version 2. So you're open to revising your work based on feedback and testing. How would you choose to respond? Anything different in the chat, guys? Anything different? As you go through the different versions, give me an example of a behavior. I'm just thinking myself. Does that make sense? Yeah, like what behavior, when you are going through different iterations, Mohammed, of your app development, what behaviors will bring you from each version to the next version so that you don't give up, basically? What will keep the momentum? What will keep, so maybe learning from users, okay, getting feedback, okay, maybe measuring the progress in some type of format, if that's possible. Let's take a look here. So there, you mentioned it already, receiving user feedback, that's a certain feature, you eagerly adjust and iterate until the feature meets user needs, okay? I love that, Jack, run brainstorming sessions to get feedback that we could have missed. And there's something there around, yeah, Hadi, I'm so happy you said that. And be careful, be very mindful of who is in the focus group, that you have a diversity of audience. Yeah, young people, like even the age generation. Yeah, that you don't want everyone thinking the same. Okay, nice. Keep the end vision in sight. Okay, fabulous. Resilience. So when encountering bugs, design issues, not meeting deadlines, unexpected challenges, maybe you have to buy and you don't have the money, you need a particular software, you stay persistent. Failure does not deter you, but motivates you. So say you are facing setbacks. How will you respond? What will be your behavior? What will, ensure that you keep going? I love that. Yeah, I'm a big one into freebies. Yeah, the free versions, good. And there's lots of free stuff out there, actually. It's amazing. I will learn from my mistakes. Well done, Mohammed. Amazing. Let's take a look here. What we're suggesting, if a key feature isn't functioning, you experiment, consult peers, and search for online resources to find a solution. Okay. I like that as well. Take a short break, step back from it, look at the problem from a different angle. What am I not seeing? Yeah. And it could be very obvious. Yeah. Sometimes we can get very fixated. So even taking a rest day. Yeah, I was listening to a podcast this morning about healthy living, and he was saying the importance of going to the gym or doing exercise, but having a rest day in the week. I was very happy to hear that. So I don't feel guilty. Reza, run a crazy-led acquisition campaign. Good girl. Love it. Good woman. And that is something around I feel an energy coming through the chat. Yeah. The crazier, the better. You know, get people, make noise. Love it. Okay. And even a competitive element to it, maybe as well. Okay. Seeking and implementing feedback. This is, we talked about this earlier as an action, seeking feedback from peers, mentors, users, and using the feedback to improve. So I work with a lot of people who do get feedback, but then they do nothing with it. You know, they have the feedback, but they don't change anything. So I think there's two things here. One, yes, it's asking for feedback, but what are you going to do with it? Okay. And I suppose there's something here around being strong in not taking it personally as well. Yeah. Use it as a tool for growth. Any ideas there in how you'll behave? I used it to improve my presentation many times. It is helpful. Yes, Gada, well done. So, you know, if sometimes, okay, your font is too small. So the next time you deliver, you ensure that your font is a certain size, or too many infographics or too much text, but that you actually actively listen to the feedback and do something with it. Okay, well done. So here's just an example of if a key fix, again, online resources to find a solution rather than giving up. You experiment, you consult, even set up a little working party, a focus group. And finally, I think this is so important that we celebrate small wins. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's what went well today? What was good about today? Again, it's a reflective question. And ensuring that you acknowledge your hard work. Yeah. Very important. And particularly if you're working in a team, you know, that positive reinforcement, you know, that growth mindset. Yes, it's difficult, but yes, and yeah. So an example, you celebrate when you successfully implement a new feature, fix a tricky bug, or receive positive feedback. How do you celebrate? Well, I know I definitely celebrate with this in the chat. If I was in a room now, I'd be giving you all one of those chocolate. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be the big, you know, the big celebration. It can be just, you know, even going out for dinner, maybe instead of meeting in the office, let's have a breakfast meeting. So, you know, so I'm curious to understand how you celebrate. Okay, so now is your opportunity. Open up the Padlet again. And this time I'd like you to click the plus button, but please ensure you go to behaviors. Okay, so give me some examples of behaviors in terms of, okay, here we go. These are the 5. I'll just put them all on the screen at the one time. There we go. What are you currently doing in terms of those 5 growth mindset behaviors? Okay. Troubleshooting my app's payment process to make it smoother. See doubt as positive. Well done. Okay, anything else that comes up there? Fabulous. Well done, guys. Yakeen, you have your hand up. Would you like to come off mute? Have you a question? You okay? Gad, I'm just reading you. I divide my project into small pieces, and in the end, I love that. So that for me, that's this idea of chunking it down. So I'm going to do X today. I'm a big believer in that. Otherwise, sometimes I get overwhelmed. Okay. So what's the benefit to you, Gada, by dividing your project into small pieces? How does that serve you? Let me know in chat. What's the benefit of dividing your project into small pieces? Yeah, Hadi likes that too. Well done. That idea of chunking it down. Yeah. So there's something here around planning and scheduling, but you're not constant. It will help her to reach her goal faster. Well done, Yakin. I like that. Yeah. And maybe that, she's not overwhelmed. Yeah. And she's in control. And she's feeling elements of success. Yeah. I like that. Well done. Amazing. You'd be a great project manager, Gada. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on now. And we are moving to language. Okay. So, growth mindset language reflects the beliefs. We know that abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. So there are 3 magic words today. If you can remember those: effort, how much learning, and how persistent am I? Okay. So the behaviors we've gone through, the actions, and now the language will increase effort, learning, and persistence. So the type of language encourages us to frame challenges positively and focus on learning rather than the fixed outcomes. So if I was to drive from Abu Dhabi to Fujairah, it's more about the 2 hours I spend in the car on the way rather than arriving, that I enjoyed. So I might stop for petrol and I might stop for lunch on the way in Dubai, etc., etc. So there's something here around enjoying the journey. And yes, we want to get to Fujairah, we want the outcome, but that we enjoy the process. Okay. So language, we have 5 that we're going to focus on today. Okay. So by incorporating this growth mindset language into our daily conversations, we reinforce the belief that we can grow, we can increase our effort or our persistence. And this motivates and encourages us because we start seeing success. We start becoming more confident. So we're going to focus on 5 today. So the first one, I can't do this yet. So the magic word is yet. Okay. So it implies that ability is not fixed and that improvement is possible with time and effort. So if I was to bring it to my own experience of Adobe Connect, I cannot master Adobe Connect yet. So what does that imply? It implies, who can tell me? Give me the word in the chat. Even as I'm saying it, what does that statement imply for me? I cannot master Adobe Connect yet. What does it imply? Let me know in chat. Anyone? Well done, Jack. Yes. There is that. It implies I have the potential to learn it. And even maybe a little bit, I will master it. Yeah. So it's that self-belief. And I cannot master Adobe Connect yet, but I will. Yeah. Fabulous. I'd like you now to create a statement with the word yet. And pop it into the chat for me. Create a statement that applies to you just now in the work you're doing, and pop it into the chat. Anyone? Maybe you're still typing. Oh, you, anyone? Jack, Mohammed? I do not have a 360 view on what sustainability really means, but after I read a lot, meet people in the industry, do research, I'll be in the know. Okay. Yeah, so I do not have a 360 view on what sustainability really means yet, but after I read, fabulous. Okay, well done, Reem. Amazing. Okay, well done. There are various aspects related to the project under do not master yet, but I am meeting with, that's amazing, Jack. Fabulous. So very proactive. Acknowledging I'm not there yet, but what are you doing about it? So very proactive, definitely that growth mindset. Amazing. I have the tools at my disposal, so I'm yet to explore. Brilliant. Okay, another way of, fabulous. Keep working. I cannot lose yet. Okay, brilliant. Well done, guys. Okay, so that's a nice think about that word, using yet a little bit more. Okay, so focusing on effort and strategy, you worked really hard on this, or what strategy did you use to solve the problem? So something here around praising effort and strategy rather than intelligence or talent highlights that growth comes from actions and choices. So we're all born with a certain intelligence, but don't get fixated on that. Start putting more energy into your effort and strategy rather than your given intelligence. Yeah, that's where growth actually comes from. Okay. Emphasizing learning over success. So it's not shifting, I said this, it's shifting the focus from the outcome to the learning process. That gives and encourages development, even if the result wasn't perfect. It's not about getting there. It's what did I learn from the experience? Okay. So say, for example, you go to a networking breakfast and in your mind, you are very focused because you want to meet somebody that you respect, that you admire, and that's doing really well in your field. And you've paid 200 dirhams to go to the business breakfast because you need to pay. Yeah. And you rock up and you find out that that individual is not there. Something came up and they couldn't attend. Okay. So you're probably a wee bit disappointed. So rather than focusing on the negative, what could you do in that situation? So this is about shifting your mind. You're disappointed, yes, that X is not there. You've paid 200 dirhams. So what's your choices? Leave, take the breakfast and go, or network absolutely with other participants. You never know who you might meet. Engage, open yourself to having conversations with lots of other people. And you might be very pleasantly surprised. Yeah. Okay. Persistence, keep going. You're getting better, or mistakes. So this is the language that we want to use. It reinforces the idea that persistence is key to success. and that mistakes are part of the learning journey. Keep going, okay? And sometimes, are anyone familiar with, what's her name? Mel Robbins. She is kind of a motivational speaker, and she's written a new book called High Five. And she says that when you wake, I bought the book actually, and she said, when you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror and you give yourself a high five. You know, the way when we meet people, sometimes we give them a high five or a fist bump, but you actually do it to yourself. So when something goes well in the day, you just go high five to yourself. Yeah. So that's something to remember now when you wake up in the morning. Okay. We want lots of high fives. And there's, yes, you are your biggest fan. I love that. Yes. So it is that self-trust. Leadership starts with self. I'm a big believer in that. How we lead ourselves, you know, is very important. And finally, emphasizing process over perfection. It's not about getting it perfect. It's about getting better each time. Okay. So reinforcing that improvement and progress are more important than achieving perfection right away. Sure. If it was perfect the first time, wouldn't life be very boring? Yeah. You'd be twiddling your thumbs. Okay. So it is about the process, that improvement, progress comes over time. So I'd like you now to revisit for the last time our Padlet. And this time you are going to pop in some language that you are going to use from a growth mindset perspective. Okay. So just go to plus and you should see, press on and just make sure it's language. And don't forget to publish. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I've got to try again. I know I can do it this time. Well done. Amazing. I need to figure out what I'm missing. Good. So that definitely is that positive spin. Okay. Growth mindset. I can do this. I will do this. I choose. I've got this. Okay. Fabulous. Okay. So we're kind of coming to the end of our presentation. So what I'd like you to do for me, the last thing is we're going to talk about a stop, start, and continue. So from today's learning, what are you going to stop doing? What are you going to start doing? And what are you going to continue to do? And I'm going to allocate about 4 minutes for this. So we have time. I want you to relax. And there's something around the power of 3. So the human brain, research, neuroscience tells us that the brain loves communicating in groups of 3 as it's the smallest number using which it can form a pattern for easy collection. So if the groups are lesser than 3, there is no pattern, for example, 1 or 2. And if the groups are more than 3, the brain needs to put in more effort. It's more difficult for the brain. So we're going to be kind to our brains. And this is the power of 3. Okay. So I'd like you to scan in the QR code. This is a new code. So open up your camera. And all you need to do is you need to scroll across. Can you see the stop, start, continue? So if you can fill in maybe 1 or 2 for each, what are you going to start doing from today's session? You can add a picture. So be creative. You can take a picture. And there's +10. You can do a poll even. You can draw. I love that. I'm going to draw. play around with this. This is a nice little tool even for yourselves, guys. And I did a bit of learning actually this week with somebody, and they say that when we smile, we learn. So something around smiling. Okay. Very interesting though, how the brain works and how we take in information. I wrote it down. Yes. People who smile learn. That was my takeaway from the learning. I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to smile more. Observant beetle. I love that. It's on you to get you where you want to be. Nice. Close this chapter and open a new one. Yeah, lovely. Stay pretty, be educated, dress well, get money. Okay, well done, guys. Amazing. Okay, just maybe about 2 minutes left. What are you going to stop doing? I'm curious. Okay. And as we close our session, I would like to bring you to our last QR code for today. And this is an expression of interest in the app Olympics. So there's not a lot of information you have to submit, but I think if you are interested, please, I'm looking at the chat now. Okay. But you have really engaged, and thank you for your valuable contributions. I wish you every success with the App Olympics journey. It sounds really cool and exciting and a fabulous opportunity. Yeah.
Until next time, happy learning.